Hey guys, JD from Best MMA Picks here. I've had a very busy week. I apologize, but I've wanted to get my TUF Ultimate Fighter 23 finale picks out for this week, International Fight Week. This is Team Joanna versus Team Claudia, and we've got all kinds of stuff going on this week. Very busy week. I'm going to forewarn you guys with these picks. I want you to take them with a grain of salt because I have not followed the season very well. And I haven't looked at a whole lot of film on any of these fights. So take them with a grain of salt. I'm giving you kind of my gut leans on them. If there are any bets placed on the on this fight card, it's going to be stuff that's been reviewed. So just keep that in mind. But I'm going to go through this rather quickly because I have a lot of stuff I've got to do today. And I'm just going to give you who I think is going to win here. So let's get this show started here. So we've got Liang versus Anton Zafir. I haven't really seen a whole lot of both of these guys. I do know that the Chinese fighter here has a pretty heavy grappling game. Zafir is the fighter out of Australia. I like what I saw from Liang from past fights. So I'm going to go with him to defeat Anton Zafir by a decision. Could be pretty close fight, though. I'm not sure where we are at the odds on that. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be quite a heavy favorite here, probably due to his heavy wrestling and grappling. Very good grappler. So I am going to be going with him for a decision victory. Next fight, we've got Jake, the Celtic Kid Matthews versus Kevin Lee, the Motown Phenom. Both these guys are very, pretty good grapplers. Jake Matthews has really come into his own. I've really underestimated him in the past. I've lost a few bets on him, again, fading him. I think that there might have been a little bit of a hometown crowd advantage in his last fight. I wasn't expecting him to get a finish at all, but he did. And so I'm going to go with Jake Matthews here to defeat Kevin Lee. I just think he's going to have a little bit more fight here than Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee tends to kind of lose a little bit of steam in later rounds. So, and I think that's when Jake Matthews is going to exploit. So Jake Matthews by decision here. Next fight, we've got Cesar Ferreira versus Anthony Smith. Really liked Anthony Smith in his last fight. Never really been super impressed with Cesar Ferreira. Ferreira Mutante. He's one of Vitor Belfort's proteges. I think that this fight, I'm going to have to go with Anthony Smith. I think he's going to come in with guns blazing. I think he's the bigger fighter. He's got a little bit more range. And, Ferreira is no joke, though. He's not a small guy by any means. But I think Anthony Smith, for his size and his length, I think he's going to get the job done here. Not sure what the odds are on that one. I am going to go, let's see, Smith. He's favored here at a -145, and that's probably about right. But I think he's going to be a pretty solid pick there. Next fight, we have John Moraga versus Matheus Nicolaou from Brazil. I got to go with Moraga here. I think he's got the better wrestling credentials, being a Division I wrestler. Nicolaou's a good fighter, though. As we've seen in some of his past performances, he tends to get the better of a lot of the stand-up. We could see the same here, but I think Moraga is going to fall back on his bread and butter here to get the job done, where he will have an advantage. I'm going with John Moraga to defeat Nicolaou by TKO. Next fight, we have Gray Maynard and Fernando Bruno. I like Bruno here. I think I've always said this. Gray Maynard's a good fade because of that glass jaw that he has. I'm going with Bruno here to get probably I'm going to say like a head kick, or he's going to catch him with a hook or a cross to the chin flush, and we're going to see Gray Maynard stumble and then probably get TKO'd. So I might get a lot of shit for this one, but I still think that Gray Maynard is a good fade here. Not sure what the odds are. Yeah, this is a little closer than what I like for a fade on Gray Maynard. He may want to take Maynard, but I like Bruno to get an upset here. Don't be surprised. Next fight, we've got Joaquim Silva, Neto BJJ versus Andrew Holbrook. We've got a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu versus a blue belt. The more complete mixed martial artist fighter, you might say, would be Andrew Holbrook. But Joaquim Silva has faced some really tough competition as far as grappling, and he's got some pretty good Muay Thai experience. He's actually gotten the majority of his victories by KO, TKO. I'm going with Joaquim Silva to defeat Andrew Holbrook by submission. Moving on to the next fight, we have Choi versus Thiago Tavares. I think that the Korean here is a very good fighter, excellent stand-up and striking, versus Tavares, who's kind of a well-rounded, submissions expert along with some improved striking. I got to go with Tavares here. I think that this is a huge step up in competition for Choi, and I don't know that he's going to get past Tavares. I think Tavares has looked pretty good, pretty solid lately. Got to go with Tavares here. The odds probably favor Tavares. I don't know how close it's going to be. It looks like, yeah, he's a little bit over. Well, Tavares is an underdog here. I'm going to have to still go with Tavares here. I think he's still going to get the job done. It's going to be a lot closer than what the odds makers indicate. I don't foresee Tavares getting finished that easily. Next fight, we've got Ross Pearson versus Will Brooks, Ill Will, who is a Bellator fighter. And in the past, he's had pretty much all dominant victories, only one loss in Bellator, I believe it was, or his early career. He's on a streak here, and my computer's kind of freezing up on me. If I could get this thing to... He actually lost to Saad Awad with KO back in Bellator 91. He avenged his loss in October of 2013 with the decision win, and most of his wins have been by decision. So I don't foresee there being anything different here. I think he's going to be able to get Ross Pearson to the ground. However, Ross Pearson has looked a lot better on his takedown defense, so maybe worth a bet there on an underdog play, but I'm still going to go with Will Brooks here. I think he's going to get the fight done. I don't know if he's a good bargain or not at the odds that he's at. I think he's almost 3-1. Yeah, he's almost 4-1. I don't know if those odds are worth it. You might place a small bet on Pearson, but a lot of people probably be parlaying him. I think he's still going to win. And the last fight of the night, the championship bout between Joanna Jedrzejczyk, JJ Champ, and Claudia Gadelha. This one's for all the marbles, and the odds here are pretty close, very close, and I think a lot of people are expecting a possible upset here from Gadelha, being that she is the bigger fighter. A lot of people are saying that Joanna is also a lengthier fighter with more range, which is true, but the stronger fighter, in my opinion, would probably have to be Gadelha. This is going to be a much closer fight than what people think. I think Gadelha is going to really bring the fight to Joanna, and boy, it's tough for me. If it was a 2-1 favorite versus a 2-1 dog, I would probably go with the dog here. But being that JJ Champ throws at such a heavy, heavy rate or a high rate of strikes, it's hard to say where this fight's going to go. I think that it will end up on the ground a few times, but I think that JJ Champ will manage to get herself back up to the feet. I really like the mentality that Gadelha has coming into this fight, though. This is a really tough one for me to pick, and I really do feel that the odds makers are pretty close on this one. I do give a slight edge on the striking to JJ Champ, but it's nothing that Gadelha is not prepared for. I think she's going to try to take the fight to the ground as much as possible, and I think she will probably get this fight to the ground. Boy, I'm going to go with the champ here, JJ Champ, to defeat Gadelha by a split decision. I think it's going to be real close. Don't be surprised, though, to see an upset. I don't know where we're going to put money, if at all, on this fight. I may just enjoy watching it because it's going to be a great fight. And I hope everybody here enjoys the fights this week. Very exciting. Stay tuned for any, bets that may be up on our Twitter at bestmma.picks. At bestmma.picks. And make sure that you subscribe to our channel below. Hit the subscribe button and check out our portal page at the bottom. There's a link. It's got everything you need to get started with betting MMA. Appreciate the thumbs up. Give us a shout out on the comments below. Shoot us a thumbs up, and we will respond. And thank you for watching today. Everybody have a great week.